England women will be looking to retain the Euros when they face Spain in the final. Remember, it's live on talkSPORT this Sunday. It's the Lionesses' third final in a row and a rematch of the 23 World Cup final, which saw Spain come out on top. England forward Beth Mead has been speaking to talkSPORT's Courtney Sweetman-Kirk ahead of the final, and she discussed how England will approach the game.
Full English, Sunday roast, fish and chips.
I think it's just being able to back yourself as a team, be prepared to be under pressure. You know, Spanish team love being on the ball. I think ego out of the window. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable against these type of teams, and it's not always going to look pretty. We're got to be very, ruthless in the way we play, and be very much switched on from minute one to the end of the game. And I think obviously from that experience of playing Spain numerous times in Barcelona and stuff like that, that's what you kind of learn in the moments of playing against them. So hopefully we can implement that on Sunday.
Looks very comfortable, doesn't she? Talks well. Let's welcome in Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, who's been out there for talkSPORT covering this tournament. Courtney, look, I almost feel like sometimes we take it for granted that England are into their third finals in a row. I mean, this isn't normal, right? It wasn't normal procedure before. Sarina Wiegman's come and she's reinvigorated everyone. She almost makes you feel like it's failure unless you don't get to a final now. That's how good I think she's done. How are all the ladies taking it? Comfortable? Do they look nervous? I mean, Spain are the best team, I think, in the world. Or is it a case of, let's just get the job done?
No, I think they're all taking it in their stride, the Lionesses. They've created an opportunity now where, that pressure comes with the job because they've done so well, obviously winning the Euros, then getting to the World Cup final, as you mentioned. So, especially from an outside perspective more than anything, I think you're right, Sarina Wiegman and the Lionesses have created more of an expectation around getting to these major tournament finals. But no, they're all very calm, they're all very relaxed. Sort of speaking to Beth Mead, I saw Chloe Kelly earlier as well, that I know from my time at Everton, so I was having a bit of a laugh and a joke with her, and yeah, they're ready for it. I think they know obviously it's going to be very difficult, especially the Arsenal contingent that played against Barcelona in that Champions League final that was full of Spain stars, and again obviously the players that played in the World Cup final and have played against Spain in the Nations League, so they're not taking anything for granted. But as Beth mentioned, in that little package there, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, but also they have a belief in themselves that they can go and beat Spain.
Courtney, Sarina Wiegman has been speaking to the media in the last few moments, and the big news from that conversation was Lauren James. She's in a race to be fit for Sunday. How much of a blow do you think it would be if she doesn't win that race?
Yeah, I think it would be huge, and I spoke to Sarina myself as well, and she was mentioning, that she's been on the pitch, she's been on the grass, but obviously sort of the after effects of that knock on her ankle has, it has flared up, but as I say, she's been on the pitch, the physios, the doctors and everyone else are doing everything that they can to make sure she's fit. But yeah, if she doesn't play that game, it's a massive blow for us. I always say this about Lauren James. She has something that nobody else in that Lionesses squad in terms of that little bit of magic, the way that she plays off both sides. She's so two-footed. Her technical ability is so far ahead of so many players in the world. So yes, it would be a massive blow. But then if you think back to the World Cup final, the fact that we were missing Beth Mead, missing Leah Williamson because they both have ACL injuries, and we still got to that final. So yes, look, there's no doubt in my mind it'd be a massive blow. But if she wasn't to play for any reason, then I think we've still got enough ability in the squad if we play to our full potential.
Yeah, I mean, what could potentially come off the bench is frightening right now for Sarina Wiegman. The swell of noise over here, Courtney, is that if Lauren James doesn't play, obviously Beth Mead came on for her last time, that Chloe Kelly gets the call to play. I mean, look, decisions for Sarina Wiegman. Which way do you think she's going to go? Because right now everyone is screaming for Chloe Kelly to play. And if you're Sarina, she's probably thinking, well, off the bench, Chloe Kelly's done well, Adjaman's done well, let's just keep them on the bench and bring them on.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people, to be honest, regardless of whether Lauren James starts or not, I want Chloe Kelly to be starting. I think she, the impact that she's made, the fact that she's been there and done it, in the previous Euros with the Arsenal in the Champions League final, so she's got that experience, whereas, maybe that's the thing that in the back of my mind maybe stops me clambering for Adjaman to start, although, again, she's had a brilliant tournament. But I think for Sarina Wiegman, there's a level of consistency that she likes within the squad, and also maybe a loyalty to a degree as well. And it's hard, isn't it? Because there's an argument where that you say, well, actually, if you maybe change it from the start, then we're not in a position where we're having to fight till the 96th minute. But I suppose the other side of the coin is actually she's making the right substitutions, the right decisions at the right time. So for me personally, Addy, I would like to see a little bit of a change in the starting lineup. But who am I to criticise Sarina Wiegman, because we are now in a third major tournament final.
Indeed. Courtney, stay there. There has been, very quickly, a wicket in the cricket. Sam Allard watching for talkSPORT. Sam, which way has it gone?
England 515 for 6th wicket. Jamie Smith for 9. Jasper Bumrah hanging a ball outside the off stump. Jamie Smith pushing on the ball, found the outside edge, gone for 9. England 515 for 6, leading by 157.
Courtney, I do think that it's interesting and fair to say that England have stumbled our way through both the quarter-final and the semi-final. Look, somehow we have managed to get over the line and win both games, but that process isn't going to work in a final. What do you think needs to change? Is it mentality, or do you think that it needs to be maybe even a formation tweak?
I would say maybe slightly formation, but again, more so going back to what I said about Chloe Kelly, more so a personnel. I think there's been a lack of energy. I think the Italy game's slightly different for me. Yes, it was close, but I think we had more control in the game as a whole, and sort of the Italians tried to play the game of time waste, and it sort of backfired on them in the end. But I agree, in terms of the Sweden game, how we got out of that, I do not know, because especially in the first half, we were completely out of control. Sweden had everything, and I think if they scored that third goal just before half-time, but Hannah Hampton saves it, then it's completely game over. So tweaking formation potentially, because there's times when we've been chasing the game that we've gone through at the back, and that worked with the wing backs. But for me, I think it's a personnel, and two, it's maybe a bit of a mentality or an energy change, because we've seen it in the second half, sometimes even without the change in formation, that there's been a different type of energy in the squad, and it's almost needed to go in at half time and potentially had a bit of a rocket from the manager. So I think there's a lot of variables at play, but there's no doubt what you say, Rory, in terms of if you let Spain get their noses ahead, you're not going to be able to get back into the game playing at that level. There's no chance in terms of the way that Italy and Sweden took their foot off the gas. Spain will not do that. They will go for the jugular, as the saying goes, and they will not let that lead lie. So I think we've got to go out with high energy, the high press. I think Spain play a particularly high line and are quite slow at the back, so that's something that we can exploit, but we have to do it from minute one. We can't wait till the 70th minute to start playing.
Well, without putting the fear of God into our listeners, you've probably already done it, actually, to be fair, Courtney. How good are this Spanish side? I mean, there were those that would have watched Barcelona in that Champions League final, and it's pretty much the same squad, to be honest with you. That midfield's the same anyway. How good are they?
They're incredible. For me, the main thing that I always look at is how quickly and precisely they move the ball in the final third around the box, how they create different angles. And probably the best example of that was Bonmati's goal against Germany. The way that she goes into position, her body shape, then she's got the presence of mind to let the ball obviously go through her legs, and then she spots the fact that Ann-Katrin Berger has then took that step, and it opens that area at the near post. So, and this is the thing then you're talking about, right, well, Bonmati, Ballon d'Or winner, so if you take her out the game, then we're good. No, we're not, because we've got another Ballon d'Or winner in Alexia Putellas. You've got Patrick Hijaro, you've got Claudia Pina, who's had a fantastic tournament, and she can score something out of nothing. So sort of I still stand by what I say in terms of the defence. I think that's an area to exploit, but the midfield and the forward line are scary, and again similar to us in terms of they've got a lot of strength to come off the bench, and someone like Salma Paralluelo, for example, who the pace and power that she's got that could potentially exploit our back line, where we've seen issues against France and Sweden, for example, where pace has frightened us. Yeah, they've got so many weapons in the armoury.
Courtney, do you think that the World Cup final defeat that we suffered to the same opposition in 2023 will be on the players' mind at all, or do you think they just approach this like it's another game without any kind of reflection on what happened previously?
I think there will be a little bit, and there's been a lot of talk maybe about revenge, and they've batted that away very quickly. I think it's more of an avenging the issues that they felt that they didn't play to their potential in that major final. I think that's what disappointed the girls more than anything. And since then, they've played Spain in the Nations League this year. Earlier in the year, they won 1-0 with a goal from Jess Park. I know Spain beat us in the return fixture as well. But I think it's more about this final, making sure that they retain the Euros. Obviously, something that would be massively historic for the Lionesses. So yes, I think there's always that in the back of your mind to a degree, but I think 99% of it will be approaching this game for what it is and trying to bring the European trophy home again.
And let's hope they do that. Enjoy it, Courtney, as much as you can on Sunday. Thank you very much. Remember, it is live on Sunday on talkSPORT, England versus Spain, to determine who is the European Championships